I want to tell you about a day. I had just gotten back from the hospital after my sister passed. My sister-in-law had left, and my wife, who had just had surgery the week before, was in the bed because she really couldn't move. She couldn't do anything. She was in the bed watching that TV show, This Is Us. It was actually the last season of it. And there was a scene that the two brothers saw their sister arguing with their husband, Toby. I walked in just at that moment, and a memory all of a sudden came back to me. There was a boy in high school who had said something about my sister he had no business saying. Called her out of her name. I went to his house after school. Never told my sister about it, but somehow she found out because the next day she left me a note, or maybe a couple days later. In that moment, I realized I'd never be able to protect my sister again. So I got up and I left the room, and then it hit me. Like a train. I won't describe what grief feels like when it arrives. I had had an asthma attack way back in high school, but this was something more. The weight, the pressure. I honestly thought I was going to die. I couldn't speak. I couldn't breathe. I was leaned up against the wall in the hallway, and I finally had to just go to my wife. I needed some sort of comfort. And she couldn't move. All she could do just a week out from surgery was lay there. I came there and I laid my head on her, and she she tried to comfort me the best she could. I was able to pull myself together because I realized she didn't need that at that moment. And to be honest, it didn't feel comforting. So I was able to get myself together. I felt kind of foolish for even doing that and being there in that moment. But then I went back in the hallway and pulled myself together. My name is Joe. I'm 54 years old. And I want to tell you something that took me a long time to say out loud. After my sister died, 4 months later, my wife asked me to leave. Both of those things happened within the same year. I knew how to handle things. I was mentally tough. I had been through things before, and I was confident I'd be okay. I wasn't prepared for what happened to me. When those two things hit simultaneously, the grief, especially, and then you add the loss of marriage, I lost the version of myself that I had always counted on, the one who protects, the one who always made it happen, who doesn't ask for help, who keeps it together. That man was gone, and I didn't know who I was without him. This is not a divorce story or anything like that. That's not what this channel is really going to be about. But if you're watching this, you probably had some version of this happen to you. I was helping my wife recover from her surgery. I grieved my sister in the middle of that, tried to be strong, then had to leave. The divorce took a while, got complicated, then got even more complicated. The moment my rebuild started was when I was in counseling, and my counselor told me, you need a new routine, you need a new schedule. Your old life is gone. You have to create a new one. create a structure now. I didn't feel like it. I honestly didn't want to, but I know I needed to because I was honestly just sitting in what had just happened. And that's the thing. Discipline doesn't come after you feel better. It's what gets you better. You just do it. Period. Even when you don't want to. I always had fitness and I worked out. That was the only thing that stayed constant for me. The man I knew before was gone, so a new one had to emerge. I'm building this channel because I know there's a man that's watching right now, whether it's 2 a.m., you're in your hallway, you're in your car, you're standing there after getting that news, that diagnosis, whatever it was that has knocked you down. I mean, you're in your 40s, you're 45, you're 54 like me, and you thought you were past all that kind of stuff. And you're just hurt and lost. This channel's for him. I'm not your pastor, I'm not your therapist. I'm not a life coach. I'm just a man who went through it and has come out on the other side through faith and a new identity. I want you to think about this. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. I'm not going to ask you to share. I'm going to ask you to do something a little bit harder. When this video ends, I want you to actually don't pick up your phone. Don't move on to the next thing. Just sit with it. Do I really want to rebuild my life? Do I really have what it takes? Am I capable? It's not fast, it's not easy, but I'm living proof it's possible. My name is Joe, and this is Joe.rebuilt.